Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we are live. So I don't really think there's anyone in this chat. Let's see. Let's kind of play with this a little bit. Okay. All right. So we are going to talk about Ready to Love. Okay. So this particular episode was the Exes with the Nexus. All right. So let's kind of get into it. So I am going to show some screenshots just so we can kind of have a visual effect here. Okay. All
Works
right.
for me.
All right. So that being said, let me know if you can see it.
I can see it.
Okay. All right. So let's kind of set the scene up. So with this particular instance, remember Tommy said, you know what? So in order for your perspectives to really get to know you, you are going to meet their exes. Okay. And so the ladies are going to let the guys meet their ex. So let's start with Miss Patrice, shall we? All right, Miss Ma'am, let's check her out. All
You know
right.
what? Before you
Go
go on,
ahead.
I like her. I
I do
didn't
too.
think I would at first, but I like her.
Yeah. Now, why didn't you think you would like her though?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So why did you think you wouldn't like her though?
I don't know. Maybe it's because she was so. I don't know. I can't. I just didn't think I was gonna like her, but she just has more stepped out and
Yeah.
is more talkative, and
Yeah.
it's allowing people to get to know her.
Right. Now, see, remember she came with that second set because remember how Tommy tried to do this little curveball. So he had like, I don't know, the first set of 10 people and the second set. So she came with the second set. All right. So let's get into it. So it looks like she had Alonzo and William. Okay. So those were her particular perspectives. And let's see. So her ex, I think his name is Dro. Yeah. So she told him, she said, child, Stella is trying to get her groove back. So when she said that, immediately I thought about him looking like he all of 15. You know, like I ain't feeling that little boy. I mean, he's nice, but she too grown for that. So
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
what are your particular thoughts on him as a perspective for her?
He actually reminds me of a friend of mine from back in the day.
Okay.
Uh, I don't know if it's his personality or if it's that little lisp that he has, but he reminds me of a friend of mine. I mean, he's a nice guy, but as we go further to talk about all the rest of the stuff, he is like that joker in the group. He's that fun, good time guy.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you say that because he kind of reminds me of somebody that worked at a place that I will not name. But yeah, he's a nice guy. So this is her next particular guy. Thoughts on him?
William, he's very serious. He's very intentional, as a word that people like to use nowadays. I like William. William kind of knows what he wants. It's like he seems to be one of the few guys out in this show that is
Right.
looking for someone. He's not looking for someone to date. He's looking for the mate that's going to be
Right.
the rest of his life. So he's very intentional. He's very serious. So when you look at him and Alonzo, they are like on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Totally
Yeah,
different.
he's definitely grown. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, so they both come in, and so she introduces them to Mr. Dro. Now, I don't know about you, but he looked like a cartoon character to me. I'm just saying. I mean, I liked his personality or whatever, but peculiar look. So,
Well, he,
so any
favors slightly just with the tattoos. What's the guy? What you call it, Malone?
mm,
Um,
Post Malone.
Post Malone. Yeah, he
Ah,
a
I
few
can
more
see that.
tattoos.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. And so, but you know what got me? So even before the guys came in, so remember how she was like, well, I want you to meet these two guys, my love interest, whatever, however she phrased it. And she kind of had this like little baby voice going. I'm just like, girl, what you doing all that for? I'm just like, that's your ex. You know how women kind of soften up and get extra feminine. If you're
Yes.
interested in a guy, I was like, "Oh, you're doing too much, child." All
Yeah.
right, so let's see.
Didn't
So
I used to
any
say wait, didn't I used to say that about you? That you go out your boy when you do your little flirting thing, or not so much your
you
flirting
ain't never said that about
because
me, goddamn.
I I said
I
it
ain't
about
fooling with
someone.
you.
I know I said it
It
about
wasn't
someone.
me.
The
Damn
voice
sure
gets a
it
little
wasn't.
higher, you know.
No, that was one of your other girlfriends. But anywho, all right. So to get into it, so he immediately asked. So he was like, "What is it that you don't like about Patrice?" So I like that he kind of threw that curveball. Thoughts on that?
I forgot what they said they don't like.
Okay. So, child, I had to take some damn copious notes. So, um, I want to say I can't remember exactly what he said, but I do remember what Mr. Man, what's his name?
William,
William. Okay. Yeah. Do you remember what he said?
no, I just remember what she said
Okay.
about Alonzo. But what did he say?
Okay. So he said that he didn't like the fact that she tanned. So, and I thought
Oh,
that, yeah, I
I'm
thought that
sorry.
was pretty interesting.
I thought it was weird. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, who says? I mean,
But,
some
but
people like
his
to tan.
reasoning, but do you remember the reasoning now?
No, because it didn't make any sense to me.
Well, she said something about her being high yellow, but he said, which yeah,
So
yeah,
was it
anyway.
the term that he didn't like?
No, 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 no. It wasn't even so much that. He said that since he's adopted, that he feels triggered, okay, or whatever, and that not feeling like you're enough. Does that make sense? Or not feeling adequate. He said,
I think
just
it's stu-
accept yourself,
I
according
think
to him.
this is well, according to him, but outside of that, I think it's one of the. I'm not going to say dumb, but it just is. To me, it's not that deep. You know,
Right, right,
I
right.
know a lot of women who are darker than her that like to
Mhm.
tan. You
Right,
know,
right, right, right.
they like to
Yeah.
get bronze and glowy.
Okay.
So for him to
Okay.
take it to that extreme was, I thought it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and it wasn't even anything just to do with her complexion, but I guess, child, according to him, he was triggered. But oh, okay. So she did kind of say what she didn't like about Alonzo, the younger one. So remember, I think she said something like he plays too much because he's kind of like a jokester.
Yeah.
Now, I find it ironic that William supposedly he's a comedian, right? He's I don't know, I ain't never heard him say nothing that was particularly funny because he always seemed kinda just level-headed and serious.
Yes. So maybe that's the comedian is only he turns it on and off. You know, when he gets on stage, he
Mm,
turns on the comedy act, but outside of that, he may be just a serious guy. Because you're
okay.
right, he hasn't shown any comedic um traits while he's been on.
Exactly, yeah, yeah, I mean, I know they're, like, regular outside, but you know how some people are just, like, naturally funny, and they can't even help it, but I ain't heard him crack not a joke, but,
Nope.
that's neither here nor there. So, at the end of the day, to kinda move along, so at the end of the day, Dro asked her, or she asked him, "Who do you think is a better match or a better suit for me?" So, of course, do you remember who he chose?
He chose William, of course. You know, most men probably are going to choose William over
Mhm.
Alonso just because, again, he's just more serious and he's
Right,
giving off the impression that I am here to find love and I'm here to find that perfect someone. Versus Alonso,
right,
even though Alonso probably feels the same way, he just isn't giving off that vibe because he smiles a lot.
right, right, right. That part. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
but Dro said that, I can see why she liked him because he is fun and you
Mhm.
can have a good time with him. So,
Okay, okay. That's true. I can't get with the age difference, but that's just me. But okay. So yeah. So let me see. Let's go with Miss Maya, honey. So she is next. So let's get you down and let's add Miss Maya to the platform. Okay, I think she's so cute. All right,
mhm.
so with this particular date, let's see, did anything resonate for you? And let me kind of set the stage. Okay. So remember with her most current ex or whatever like that, remember she had some concerns about introducing her perspectives or her nexus, so to speak, because she thinks that he may still have feelings for her. Okay.
Yeah, I think you could tell he did. I think he was
Yes.
still cared for her.
But you know what? I'm curious about what the backstory is with their relationship because I'm just like, because she seemed a little uncomfortable at times and they really didn't get into it or they didn't show on camera. Why did y'all break up? That's what I
Right.
wanted to know. I wanted to know the good part.
Maybe you'll find that out at the reunion.
Right, right. So yeah, but even but you know what? I wanted to speak on Mika, but I'm gonna wait to talk about Mika really quickly. But yeah, so let's get back to Miss Maya. So anyway, her particular perspectives happen to be, let's
Hey, do you think
see.
that's some weave in his hair?
I didn't think about it. I don't think so. But
You think
shit, it could be. It could be. I
because
mean, I wouldn't be
men
surprised.
men get those braided weaves nowadays too,
Shit, they long as hell though, don't you think?
and they're very very thick. But let's move
They
on.
are, but they look neat though. They look
Oh no,
good
they
though.
are neat. No, they're
Yeah.
neat.
I'm not into dreads, the whole locks things, but I like it if it looks neat, you
Okay.
know, and it looked well kept. Let me take a look at him. But I wonder, was he like an athlete or something like that? And I'll get into why. All right, so let's get into her perspective. So who does she bring? Let me see, Miss Mama's. Okay, so Justin. So remember when they had that pajama jammy jam?
Yeah.
Okay. And so at the time, I can't remember who he was interested in. It might have been Mika, but she wasn't one of them. I think it was Rashina. But remember she twerked in his face? Remember with that truth or dare
Yes, that's
thing?
right. That's right. She did.
I said, so now you're interested, Bama, ain't you? So anywho, let's see.
He's so
All right.
cute.
He is. I think he's handsome too. I do. All right, so he meets the guy or whatever, and so here he is again, Mr. Serious, okay, Mr. William.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to have stronger chemistry thoughts with him.
Well, I'm going to just kind of jump ahead, even though, and we can always come back. I
Mm,
know everybody likes William because of his stability and
right.
the impression that he gives off that he's a serious kind of guy. But it was really funny, and I know you'll get into this when he mentioned about the money part.
Yes. Yeah.
Justin is like,
Honey, his whole demeanor changed, right? So let me
that
kind of
was
go
fun.
back a little bit. So even from the very beginning, I think even before William got there, Justin inquired. He asked, he was just like, well, tell me something about Maya. He was like, she's spoiled. And I can see that. She's a pretty girl and she probably pampers herself and ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. So, all right. And so it seems like I don't want to say he was trying to be a saboteur or try to sabotage the date, but he kinda went in kinda hard right off the bat, right?
Right.
So, let me see, what did he ask?
Now, see,
Um,
I like them two as a couple.
I do too, I do
So, so it
too.
does make you wonder, why did they break up?
Quiet as it's kept. They do look kinda cute together, they do. I'm trying to picture him without the dreads, but anywho. So, let's see, so he went in for the kill, his name is X, and no, what's his name? Wes, my bad. So anywho, he was like, "So why is it that you think you're good for Maya?" And so I think Will said something to the effect that he's looking to get married again, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Well, you." I think she had let him know ahead of time that he is twice divorced. Okay, and he
Yeah.
was like, "Well," and he said that he want his upcoming relationship to be like something that will last a lifetime. He was like, "Well, what was wrong with the other two prior to?" now, which I thought was a dig.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a dig. Yeah, he was like, so the other two weren't, meant for a lifetime, but he's ex-military though.
But then again, he's right though. You've been married twice. what and you said you're looking for that that final one. So
Mhm.
what is he what didn't they have that, it didn't make the relationship be the final one? Um,
Right.
you're on marriage number 3. There's an issue
Right.
there somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Now he has 3 sons, and she didn't have any children. I think, what, early 30s? I don't know if I would wanna get with him, especially it's one thing if you were divorced once, but twice, and you got 3 older kids, like, no, that's a lot of baggage, right? Because I think that's when the finances came up. Because I remember I think he asked, "So what is it that y'all do for a living?" Right? And she looked
Right.
so cringe when he asked that. Because she said that she didn't even ask those questions herself, but hell, she needed to know. So this is the part I think that you were talking about, and I'll let you kind of get into the finance piece.
Well, I can't get that much into it. I do know that I don't remember if William said what he did, but I do know he said he's comfortable. And Justin is probably comfortable too in his lifestyle. But I think the way Wes asked the question made it seem that Maya needs somebody with a lot of money.
Right, right,
And
right.
Justin was like, "Well, how much money does she need?" or whatever he said.
Mhm.
But it was kind of funny that now he's thinking maybe I'm out of her ballpark because he's a gym teacher, or whatever. I don't know. He makes
Right, a
that
PE teacher,
he's
right.
a PE teacher, and
Mhm.
teachers don't make that much money.
Right, that's
Uh,
true. But
so
low key, most of the people that come on this show, I don't think they're serious and really looking for love, and that's kinda like getting off topic or whatever. Because I kinda follow, like, the social media part of it, like, some of the stuff they be talking about,
mhm,
and saying that to say, hell, he could be like a low budget actor for all we know, you know? Yeah.
that is true.
Quiet
That
as it's kept, right?
mhm.
But no, but PE teachers, no, not a lot of income, but it is some stability. But which brings me back to I want to know what homeboy does. I'm curious because I'm like, did y'all break up because your money went right? Your pockets weren't fat enough, or just for other reasons, right?
I want to say
Because
other reasons because she's already said she got her own money.
right, she did say that.
So I don't think she would not see someone because they don't make as much as she does. I think for her it's that they do have their own income stream so that
Mhm.
she doesn't have to help them out.
Gotcha, gotcha. But it was just kind of funny because it was almost like he was flexing low key, like, I know my weight is up, like I got money, but can y'all pamper her or pour into her the way that I used to? I kind of got that kind of low key undertone. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But yeah, but I like the fact that she was humble. She was like, "Yeah, I got my own money, but girl, low key, you want somebody to at least meet your fly, right?"
Right.
I would think so. But yeah, to your point, dude was definitely uncomfortable in that, like, yeah, I don't know if she is going to keep me as an interest because I don't know if I can give her blah blah blah. But at the end of it all, he said that he wanted to see her happy or whatever like that. But no, I don't believe that. Homeboy, you still want to be with her. Stop playing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right, so let's get to Miss Mama's here. Let me see. Let me get go to the beginning of this. So let's go to Miss Vanessa.
now,
Okay.
can I tell you something? Because she was in the second group also, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt that she was going to be the first ones to get kicked off.
Okay. Okay. What made you
Um,
think that?
because she seemed very guarded to a degree and
Mm-hmm.
very quiet again.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
didn't think she was connecting with anyone at the time. But
Gotcha.
she's just flown under the radar, and I just am surprised she's still around.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. She seems like a nice person, but one thing I didn't realize, but when I was kind of looking at like another episode, I forgot that her ex-husband is Caucasian. I was like, that's interesting. And I want to say she said like during like one of the earlier mixers that she wanted to be with somebody who could understand her culturally, ethnically, blah blah blah. So, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
she went Caucasian and came on back, right? Which kind of brings us to her particular ex. But first, her love interest is your boy. Thoughts on him, Chaz? What do you think of him?
Chaz is okay. He kind of reminds me of William to a degree, based on
Mm,
he's intentional in his thoughts and what he says, and wants to be um, that person who could be
mm,
the mediator, the one that brings people together, etc. Especially based on what happened last week. Um,
right.
you know, but I like Chaz. He's okay.
Okay, okay, okay. I like him too. He's mature, you know. And so Mr. Dominique, okay, so this is her other interest. But you know what I thought was funny? Like in one of the confessionals, Chaz was like, I don't even see how these two hooked up. As if, I'm just like, dude, I know you ain't talking because he all over the place. Okay.
But it was also funny that a lot of the women were saying about him was that that they didn't even know he was still on the show.
I know, I know, I know.
Because he hasn't called nobody, he hasn't reached out, no text, no nothing. So he's like being forgotten
Exactly.
about. That was funny.
But it's funny because he actually likes her, and it seems like the only one that he was kinda into maybe was her, but
Right,
even, like, on another episode, she was like, "Well, if you're feeling me like that, well, kinda pursue me and show me,"
right.
right? That time, I think, when she met, like, his homeboy. So, alright, so let's see. So this is her ex, but, I don't even think they were intimate, though.
I don't think so either. I know. Remember that she met him through his mother. Was it that they worked together or something like that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then they started dating, but they realized they'd be better off as friends. Yeah, I don't think they've ever been intimate. They don't even look like they go together.
Right, exactly, exactly. And so I was just like, okay, but he looks like a nice guy.
Yeah.
And let's see. Hey, I think is that Sheila? Hey Sheila, I'm kind of looking at the comments on something else. Happy Sunday. So yeah, but as far as he is concerned, I didn't see any romantic remnants or connection with them, so I believe they're really friends. But I found it interesting that your boy, where is he? What's his name? Dominique. You remember the part where he says something to the effect of like, he wanted to kind of know if what's his name, Thomas or whatever, is he still attached to her, or he kind of to wanted to, or he couldn't believe that they were friends or whatever like that because he has said that his mother too had introduced him to somebody and they were actually intimate and it kind of changed the dynamic of their friendship or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I thought that
yeah,
was dumb statement to. I mean, everybody's experience is their experience, but just because somebody's relative introduced you to someone doesn't mean you have to be intimate with everyone else. It's like men, you are more the dogs in the situation where you all think you gotta sleep with anyone and everyone. Women don't actually think that same way,
exactly.
you
Because we don't
know.
have a male member between our legs. That just, yeah, that part. Right.
But can I tell you, I wanted to know why she didn't bring her ex-husband. That's
Oh,
what
I
I would have
know.
loved to have seen. Why do you bring your ex? So it makes me wonder, just like you were wondering about the relationship for the other one,
Mhm.
um, and like why did they
Oh,
break up?
Maya, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm curious as why she didn't bring her ex-husband. What did she think he would have or would not have done? So it makes you wonder why they really broke up.
Interesting. Did she ever say because I'm thinking her kids are she probably have like younger her kids are probably what, I don't know, young or whatever because she's not that old, right?
Yeah, I think well they're
Interesting.
definitely under like 10 years old or
10.
whatever because she has
Right.
two boys or whatever. So
Right. And no one ever talked about their co-parenting relationship. And we'll get to Mika in a little bit because Mika talks about her kids a lot and they tend to weaponize the fact that Mika has kids against her, but I don't want to jump ahead. But anywho, so your boy Chaz, he gave her flowers, and it looks like he got like some dandelions, and he must have got like a twofer because dude gave her like two sets of flowers, which is fine. You know how sometimes they do that, like if when they meet the mom.
he stopped at the corner bodega and
Uh-huh.
picked her up some flowers.
Well, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That was sweet. That was sweet. I guess he said, hell, maybe it was half off, so I'm gonna get two. Okay. All right. So yeah, as we kind of go along here, I'm trying to remember what did they really ask. They didn't really say anything that was too bad or sensational or something that made either of them look bad. The only thing that stood out is when the dude Dominique said that he couldn't understand, I guess, the whole dynamic of having a friend or whatever. So he just wanted to know more about it. But I do remember Chaz saying to the friend that he is really into Vanessa and that they connect emotionally, intellectually, physically, and spiritually. So I was like, okay, we hear you. Okay.
Yeah, again, they're all boring. Um, that's why I'm surprised that she is still here.
Right, right, right. Um,
Not that you have to have drama. You don't need the drama because that
right,
like kind of spoils the show in a way. But
right,
just the fact that there was nothing,
right,
with their stuff. There's nothing that he asked that was crazy. Nothing they asked that was crazy. It was okay. Everybody likes each other.
right. Yeah,
Except
she's not
did
dramatic
but
though.
wait a minute, was it Chaz or was it William or who said that they wish they could just have a one-on-one with somebody versus always doing the double dating thing?
Mm.
I forgot.
Um,
Somebody
I
said
think it was
maybe it was
William, and I
William.
think he said that about was it Patrice?
Okay,
Is that he
probably.
wanted to get Patrice kind of to herself? Let me
Right.
see if I can show a comment. Somebody made a comment. Let me see. Let me see if that highlights. Okay. So Sheila says, so wh- Lonzo has become a full-grown man yet, or hasn't? Okay, he still has oats to be sown. I love a. Oh, okay. She loves grown man William, who is intentional and knows what he wants and how he will treat a woman. I see security and protection. I agree with that.
I agree with it also because he definitely comes off that way.
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, he's definitely grown. He's grown for sure. So yeah, but you know who I also like, and I know she was dramatic. What's her name? Koshia, the one. Now she was good for ratings. The one that was with the guy LeBron at the. Remember, she was like being all dramatic and whatnot.
Well, when they went at what time when she was at the table or when they were in the room and she was
Shit,
ready to
she was
beat up,
dramatic the whole
she was
time.
ready to
But
beat up
okay, when
what
they
you
were at
call
the
it.
table,
Oh, and she was
right?
crying because of what Lorenzo or Lorenz, whatever his name,
LeBron,
Laurent,
right? Mm-hmm.
what he was saying. Yes,
Exactly.
she was. He hurt her. She hurt us. He hurt her feelings.
But you know what? I found it interesting. Well, he wanted to know why she kind of pulled back from him or whatever. And she did pull back, but she said she wanted to pursue other interests. But he too, I don't want to say he's childish, but he's a little immature. What is he like, 31 or 2?
I think they're going to
And
get them off next.
you think so?
Yeah, he needs to go.
Okay, okay. I actually, I mean, I like him, but I do think he is just a tad bit immature. Let me see
Well,
something.
we'll get to that when he talks about what he does in his spare time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I wanted to show, okay. So let's get to let's do Rashina next. We'll save that for last. Let me see. What did Sheila say? Sheila said it was more to the tanning conversation. I didn't like that she said she's high yellow. Oh, just get some sun. Oh, you're talking about Patrice. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That was a kind of weird thing to say, and I don't know if you were listening when we were talking about it earlier, but she didn't really get into it. And of course, if you want to like get some sun, you can bronze or whatever. She is on a lighter side, but it was just kind of weird the whole comment or whatever. And he said that it triggered him because it kind of made him think like, oh, does she feel like she can't accept herself as she is and not good enough? But child, yeah.
Yeah, and
So
you know what? I was thinking about the comment, the high yellow comment,
yeah.
and I know I have described my mother. in that
Okay.
respect, but
Okay.
but I've used it in the privacy, possibly with someone who knows me, knows my mother, etc. But it was
Right.
also years ago that I used that term. Years ago. I would
Yeah.
I would not use that term now, or if I did
Right.
use it, I would say it's what they used to call, this is a term that used to be used back in,
Right.
back in, a long
Back in it.
time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
Um,
get what you're
so I
saying.
was in a sense that she did describe herself that way.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
She could have
And
just said
especially
she could have just said she likes a tan.
there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Because she feels she's pale, child. But yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. It's not the politically correct thing to say these days, is it?
No,
All
among
right. So let's get to Miss Rashina. I like Rashina. So I think let me see. Now, her particular ex is her ex-husband. Okay. So, and I love their dynamic in that they seem to get along well. And according to both of them, they co-parent well, right? But
right.
I thought she oh, wait a minute. I just saw something. Never mind. I was looking out the window. But anyway, it was interesting. She said, I see you all bedazzled looking because he had like the gold front, bottom, gold teeth or whatever, the little shiny shirt and whatnot. I was just,
His shirt is a little sparkly there.
it is. It is. All right. So let's see. Her particular interests are your boy Chaz. Here we go again. So do you remember what he said before he came in? Do you remember?
No, what do you say?
Okay, so basically, he said that he didn't know a lot about Rashina and he kind of wants to get to know her, but he was a bit nervous, I guess, meeting an ex, and probably because even though they're connected, that's not his stronger connection. So, yeah. But
Okay.
he's playing the game though, to have as many connections or whatever. All right, but she seems to like him though.
Obviously, if she brought him along to meet the ex,
But
I
I
didn't know
thought she
they
liked
had that.
Justin though.
You don't know why she likes Justin?
No, no, no. I thought she liked Justin.
I did too, but I don't know.
Because
They,
remember they went salsa dancing?
yes, they did.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, yeah, that's interesting. So, anywho, but yeah, I did like the conversation, between her and the ex. She said they were separated for 10 years. And I'm thinking, do you mean divorce? Or maybe, yeah, because she did say ex husband, she didn't say ex boyfriend. So, anyway, I'm assuming they're divorced. Okay. So, I'm going to take it that way. So, da 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 da. Yeah, because she only showed one interest, but I know sometimes Ready to Love, like, when you kind of see the behind the scenes or whatever, she could have also had Justin there too, and maybe they just didn't show it. So there's that.
No. Oh, so that's right.
Right.
She only brought Chaz. So this was like a one-on-one type of thing.
Exactly,
Ah,
exactly. So yeah, I'm kind of curious as to maybe yeah, I'm curious as to why they didn't show that because yeah, it's kind of weird. So anyway, Chaz is definitely making his rounds, but then I said, hell, so is William, right?
right.
Yeah. So let me see. What did I put in the notes?
They're probably the two that come off the most mature out of all these
Yes.
that are here. That's why. And these women are older. A lot of some of them are older also, and they got their kids and everything else. So they're looking
Hmm.
for something different than looking for an Alonzo or Justin. Who Justin,
Hmm.
the good thing about him is that he's like, look, if I have kids, I have them. If I don't, I don't. He's not letting um, the woman's situation, you know,
Right.
dictate one way or the other. He's open, and
Right.
that's why I think she liked him because because she doesn't want to have any more kids.
Right. 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 Yeah. And who knows? Maybe she could be open, right? She could be open to it in the future. Now, one thing that Chaz did ask, what's his name? I can't remember her ex's name, but Chris, okay. Now, tell me about, I guess, your relationship because I think she had made mention of the fact that hey, we have a great co-parenting relationship. Our sons are older, And he said the communication is key, which kind of segued into, well, speaking of communication, you remember that little scene there?
No.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
Okay. So pretty much she was like, our communication is kind of touch and go, meaning, and he kind of admitted to it too, that they may go like 3 or 4 days or whatever like that, you know? Let me
But
see
let me,
something.
but here's the other thing about this. How long is this show over? What period of time? Because if you really think about it, do I really? I don't know you that well. Yes, I am trying to get to know you, but do I gotta talk to you every day? Especially if
Ah,
I'm not, especially if I'm not that into you, because, like you
right.
said, he's already admitted she probably was not one of his top picks to begin with, and he's
Okay.
now getting to know her and everything else. So if
Mm,
that,
okay.
that should tell you something right there. If somebody's not communicating with you on a consistent basis, then maybe they're not that into you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. And also he's now here's the thing. He had two sets of flowers and he gave them both to Vanessa. Hell, he could have given one of the little flower arrangements to her, right?
But he didn't, did he?
He did not. Now that
He
I
came
think
he
about it,
came
because I didn't
he
even
came
think about
empty
that.
handed.
Okay. Yeah. Sheila said, my nephew, she says, my nephew's hair is like his hair. No, it's not weave, honey. That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let me, oh, she must be talking about Chaz. So yeah.
Yeah. No, no, not
But
Chad. About the about what you call his husband, or not husband, ex-boyfriend, Maya's ex, Wes.
Okay, talking about him. Got it. Gotcha. Okay, she may be listening behind. It's nice though. I mean, it's thick if you're into dread. So let's see. So anyway, he did admit it was like 3 or 4 days, and now she kind of made me laugh because she was just like, well, dang, I'm wondering, are you dead? Are you alive? Do I need to call the hospital? Where you be? Where are you? Why haven't I communicated with you? Right? And especially if he's interested. So I find that to be funny because especially since he said that he feels like he and Vanessa, they have an intellectual, a spiritual, and a physical, just an overall connection. And I don't remember him, saying anything that really resonated like this about her. I think he's physically attracted to Rashina because when they show like the previews for next week or whatever, and how he was biting the strawberry out of her mouth. You remember that part?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was just like, he couldn't resist. He said, I know my other connections may not like that. He said, but yeah, nature called. So, honey, he had to act on that impulse. I'm like, okay. So, yeah. But at the end of the day, the guy, Chris, her ex, he could tell that she really likes him and she likes the fact that he's older and she seems kind of smitten with him. So, yeah, we'll
We
see.
we will
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, because see, here's the thing. Now, not to really skip ahead, but I'm going to kind of skip ahead. So, you know how they show like the previews for next week, right?
Hmm.
And he's kind of making his rounds, and Mika's like laying on the bed with him, sitting on the bed with him, right? And then he's biting a strawberry out of her mouth, Rashina's mouth, and he's just kind of all over the place, I guess, trying to give everybody a little love and attention. And she's kind of peeking around, and she says she's normally not a jealous person, but I think she felt away.
She
And
probably
I'm
did.
talking about Vanessa,
Yeah, she probably did.
right?
Ex- When he's one of her top ones. So yeah. I mean, come on. They're all trying to date the same man. It's not The Bachelor where they all are stuck together for whatever time of day. They still got their jobs and
Right.
whatever else
Right.
they do in their spare time, but it is what it
Yeah.
is. So let's get to Miss Mika.
All right. Yeah, I like Mika. I actually like Mika. Well, I like most of all of them or whatever, but I definitely like Mika. So anyway, so we know that she couldn't bring an ex because she said like her son's father, because remember she met up with Tommy and he was
Right.
like, well, what's the issue? And he volunteered to stand in, which was a good thing. And she said that other than co-parenting her 6-year-old with him, they don't have that type of communication, right? And her most recent ex, I don't think he was a good guy, and I don't know if he was abusive or anything. I think he was a womanizer, right? So I guess she said, "Hell, I'm not gonna bring you on the show, so your ass can possibly come on next
Right.
season." I
Right.
guess she said, "I think the heck not." All right, so let's kind of move along. And so here we go again, Justin, right? Okay. And I actually think I think they're going to actually hook up or whatever. I think they're going to make it to the end. That's my prediction.
Okay.
What do you think of LaRon and her though?
Well, it doesn't even matter because the fact that he says if a new video game comes out, he may spend all weekend and then call off work on Monday to play video games. So there's
Girl, okay. Okay, so I think so, but he's more than a gamer, so he actually makes video games.
it doesn't matter. It's
Yeah, but I
he,
think, but go ahead.
no, he's systems operations. I don't know anything. So does he make games on the side? I didn't remember him saying he was a gamer. Well, he says he's a gamer, but it's because he plays them, not because he creates them.
Well, no, no, no. Because I was looking at something else because I'm like on another like social media platform, where they talk about the show. So he actually makes them too, from what I understand. And I think as since he makes them as well, I guess to see with the competition or to get ideas or whatever, and you're immersed in that world. So I give him a little leeway for that. And maybe he should have explained it that way.
Hmm.
You ain't bad.
Now, I'm looking at that he's 31 years old and he's probably
Yeah,
sitting in that big chair with his headphones on, with his mic,
yeah,
so he can play. And he's got
right,
this big ass television screen that he's
right.
playing on. And but again, that was such a turn off for her, where he said he can
Yes,
do it all weekend and maybe call off on Monday. That
right.
that's and she doesn't want her kids,
Yeah,
doing that.
right. Now he's about 31, 32. She's what, 35, 36. I mean, yeah, close enough. But he didn't have kids. And remember how he said that he was like a partier. Now he says he works remote from home in order to get socialization. Then he would just kind of hang out with friends like Wednesday through Sunday. And so
Right.
remember they were joking with him and say he liked to party.
Yeah, I
Right,
remember.
right.
I remember that.
Right, right. So now with them, now with her and him, they don't really have a connection. And she said that a couple different times. You remember?
I do, but I definitely know now they don't have that connection because I think she actually said like no.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Because I think when Tommy came, he said something to the effect of, what did he ask? Like, if you get into like an argument or you have a disagreement, like in the morning before you go off about your day, what do you do to kind of quell that situation, right? And so he said that he would kind of do a temperature check throughout the day just to kind of get a feel of how she may be feeling. And Justin said, you remember what he said?
He said they're going to deal with it right then.
Yes, in a nutshell,
Yeah,
right, before he leaves the house.
right.
Right. And so she was kind of impressed with that. So that was cool. And but it was funny when they saw Tommy show up and I think he was like, "Well, is that your ex or whatever?" Damn well they knew damn well Tommy won't no damn ex, or
Uh,
was he, right? So I thought that was cute. But at the end of the day, at the end of this day, I just thought it was kind of funny because they were kind of flirting, these two, right? And I thought it was kind of cute. And they were feeling each other. She kind of grinning and whatnot. And dude is just kind of like, I'm here just so I won't get fined, so I can get paid, like Marshawn Lynch, that old
hmm
saying, I'm just here so I won't get fined, child. But he had said something like, what he said, like, "We good to go, bro," or something. So I think he kind of knows that those two have a stronger connection, and he ain't it.
Right. Right.
Right.
Well, which means that he doesn't have any. That's the other reason I think he's going to go next when it's. after the women's
Mm.
turn because he doesn't have the connections. If you think about it, this is the only date he went on, or to meet the ex or whatever.
Is that?
Yeah,
I
he
think
wasn't on
so. I
anybody
think you're right.
else's. Yeah,
Yeah,
he wasn't on
yeah.
anybody else's. So he's
But
not on
no, no,
anybody
no. He
else's
likes
radar.
Maya too. Remember, he
No,
likes Maya.
I'm not saying that he doesn't like anybody else, but none of the women brought him to meet their ex.
Mm. You know, it's interesting because part of me thinks that maybe he could have had a date with Maya and it didn't show. Because remember when they were all at the table and Koshia or whatever and him were going back and forth and she started crying and how he had went over to Maya and just being real extra with her. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yeah, I do, but they would have showed it. They may have edited to be a little shorter to fit into the
Right,
35 minutes or whatever the show actually is. Um,
right.
but I think all the actual meet the exes that were meeting, I think
Yeah.
they all met.
Okay.
I don't
Well,
think they
it could be
anyone.
because I know just like looking at some of the other seasons, they always complain about editing and how they didn't show this and how they didn't show that.
Right.
But it's interesting because like him in particular, he is funny, like especially in like some of the Facebook groups and how he kind of goes back and forth with like some of the people in the group child. Yeah, he can be extra. This one here is a lot, but they
Okay.
do show like on the upcoming episode like him and Maya kind of like intermingling, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out because I remember when they did have a date maybe a couple 2 3 episodes ago how she said they could be like a power couple, right?
Right.
So yeah. So, anywho, before we kind of close it up, so yeah, I thought this was nice. What are your thoughts on what he did for Miss Patrice Alonso?
Oh, that was really nice. But I got to tell you, what messed it up though, I hate to say it, is
Well,
that he cannot make not avoid making a joke.
okay.
Because at the very end of the date, he got on his knee and then said, "Girl, let
Yes.
me find my shoe." I mean seriously, so he still couldn't end it on a non silly
Right.
type of note.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the fact that he rented out that place,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
he really likes this girl
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
spend that kind of money.
Exactly. Now I don't know if it's two, three, 400, or was it a thing to where it was after hours? I don't know how production and how that worked out. Child was reading a comment somewhere saying that they know goodness well that he didn't rent it out and that production did. I was like, dang, get a boy some credit. He may have, but
No, I think a lot of these shows that they pay for their own because even on some of these house
mm,
shows, they
mm,
actually have said that they have to pay for their own trips.
gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Well, that's
Or
unfortunate,
there's
honey.
there's things that they actually pay for. So
Right,
production
right.
doesn't pay everything.
Okay, okay. So that was pretty interesting. So now, what I didn't like about Mr. Alonso, so remember like when they all kind of convene and they talk about who they're gonna vote off or whatever, because now the women are in the hot seat or the
Right,
men are in the hot seat or whatever like that. And so his name came up as well as Dominique's, right? And we
right.
know Dominique got voted off, right? So homeboy, I don't know if he has any other connections because remember Vanessa said that he had the nerve to tell her what he was going to do for Patrice, this whole um, museum thing. I'm like, why would you tell your other interests what you're going to do for someone else? Who does that?
Someone who's silly and
Exactly.
don't have any sense, and obviously he sees her as a friend and not as a love connection.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I'm just like, it's one thing had he mentioned it to someone that he didn't have any interest in versus, but I don't see them two together anyway. So that's not
But I
going to happen.
so that makes me think that maybe Vanessa is really the next one that's going to get voted off.
You think so?
Well, obviously Alonzo did that, so that kind of breaks that kind of connection there. And who was the other? And Dominique was the other one. And they already voted. Didn't they vote Dominique off?
Um, I want to say, yeah, yeah.
She
So
didn't she
Dominique
have
got
Dom?
voted off this time.
Yeah,
Yes.
didn't she invite Dominique and Alonzo? Who were her two people?
Um, I think it was Chaz. It was Chaz and the damn. Let me go look. You know, made me forget quick as that. Let me do 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 do. Miss Vanessa, where are you, Miss Ma'am? Miss Mamas. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those two. Yeah.
Oh, she had Chaz. It was Chaz.
Chaz. Yeah, those two.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, because I had to
So
think about it.
it wasn't
Yeah,
Alonzo anyway, and so it doesn't really matter.
exactly. But she actually liked Dominique though, which I kind of, well, I kind of found that interesting
So
that
did
I don't know, that he got voted off, but then again, no, because he didn't have any other love interests. They were, yeah, just those two. Now, here's the thing now, if Chaz and Vanessa don't hook up or whatever, if they don't make it to the end, I can see Dominique and her um maybe kind of like connecting as a possibility. So I would be curious to see how that kind of works out. But yeah.
I will
So
tell you,
yeah.
I don't see this reunion as being as dramatic as some of the past reunions.
You don't think so?
No, because the only kind of fireworks that they happen between Cochia and what was her name?
Koshia and oh, but wait a minute. Oh, the girl.
The
Oh gosh,
girl.
Alexis.
Ele-
Alexis with the wavy hair.
that
I
was
liked her.
it.
Yeah.
And then Lonzo, or not Lonzo, what's his name?
Which
Uh,
one? Oh, LaRon.
L-
Because remember, LaRon
yeah.
wanted her to go home. Remember, he was adamant about that.
Well,
Remember?
no, but I'm saying those that's the only drama that happened on this season was
Right. Oh,
Alexa.
but wait a minute. It's some more tea though, because like, especially like in the social media part, you know how they
Mhm.
kind of be talking and reviewing the show as it goes on, the cast members. So apparently there was some type of plot or plan against Alexis or whatever. And it was something about a group chat, right? And supposedly some of the women, and I don't know how true this is, allegedly were trying to set it up to make her be the villain or whatever. And they said LaRon ended up apologizing to her, right? Because okay, remember the guy Will, the dark skinned guy Will, and he got mad because they accused him of being homeless, remember? And he
Right,
made it, yeah, he made it his duty to find out who in the hell said it.
right.
Okay, because he was like, he's a millionaire and blah, 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 and his war against the women. Now, that could be some drama because I can remember the guy, LaRon, called him a snake. And he was like, he's one snake and Alexis
Alexa,
is the other.
yes, the other
Right,
one.
right. So that's
Yeah,
potential drama right there.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not as good as some of the past drama.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the best drama on on their reunion show was the one where the um the two women and the man, she was trying to get back with him. They chose each other at the end, and then he broke up with her, and then she was like trying to find out what happened, and then it turns out
Right.
that he went with the other girl that he said he
Right.
should have chosen to begin with. That
Right.
was, and that she didn't find out until the reunion.
Right. Right.
Now that one was
Hey,
wild.
Connie, how are you? But yeah, no, I wanted to say hello really quickly. But yeah, yeah. But no, that reunion was something else. But I do think with this particular reunion, I do think it will again, it will be drama just with them trying to make light and sort out who the snake is and the guy Will saying that he's going to go to war with the ladies because they accused him of being homeless. You know, it'll be like little
Well,
light
you know
drama.
what? It might be
Yeah.
uh Loren, because he's the one that, because remember William said he thought he had gotten past whatever these
Mhm.
that other text messages and stuff was, and obviously he hadn't. uh,
right.
and that he was the one holding some kind of grudge, and it's kind of like ridiculous. And again, that goes to showing William's maturity compared
Right.
to Loren's
Okay.
maturity.
That's true. That's true.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. But according to, and also according to like some of the shenanigans that have been going on, like Karen, as they kind of watch the show as they go along, the men and women seem to be kind of divided or whatever like that, because they accuse the women of kind of like coming for the men on the show. So it'll be interesting just to kind of see how it plays out. But I like to kind of read just the Facebook kind of posts, because yeah, they be kind of going in at one another, like some of the cast
okay.
members who jump on. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anywho, I guess that's about it. Anything else you could think of for this particular episode?
Not for this, but we got to talk about Wendy Williams next.
Let's do it. Yeah. Now
That one,
I gotta get caught up.
I just finished it today, and I don't even know what to think about it. To be honest
Mhm.
with you, it's like, how they say there's that train wreck that or that car crash, whatever it is. You can't stop looking at it, and it
Mhm.
makes you wonder who made money off of this, because they ought to be ashamed of themselves. I mean, it's just crazy.
Right,
That's
right,
crazy.
right.
But anyway,
Um, yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I don't know. I got so much to do to kind of get caught up with it. I think I may have seen like maybe two of the episodes or whatever, child, because with work, I just had a whole lot going on. But anywho, y'all, thanks for those who came into the chat. Appreciate you guys anyway, because this is my first time going live, and I got my buddy up here with me who went live with me. Well, no, I take that back. I went live before. Yes, I did, but to this degree. No, this is the first time I did a live because I think the other one was pre-recorded, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, y'all, thanks for stopping by, and y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's nice outside. I am going to get me something to eat, and I think I'm going to touch some grass. Okay.
Okay, I'll
All
talk
right.
to you later. Bye.
Okay. I'll holler at you later. Thank you. All
Okay,
right,
bye.
guys. Y'all take care. Bye bye.